Hello, how is everybody doing today? Today we are going to learn about practical problems with algebraic expressions. Here are some formulas you might need to know. Make sure you write those down. It's the area of a triangle and the perimeter of a rectangle because we were going to need those later on during these notes. All right, so first, number one, it says find the perimeter of the triangle. So perimeter of something is like you're walking around that shape. You're trying to find the distance all the way around that shape. So I'm trying to find the distance around that triangle. So what I have to do is I have to add all the sides together. So that means I see that one side is x, and then my next side is plus x plus 3. I'm adding it to that. And then I'm also going to add the other side, which is 2x minus 5. So I'm adding up all the way around my triangle so I can find the perimeter of that triangle. So I'm adding up on my sides, and I see here that now I can combine my like terms. So I know my standard form, my variables are going to go first, so I'm going to look at my variables. So I see x, I see another plus x, and I see a plus 2x. So I know I can combine all those because they have the same variable raised to the same exponent. X plus x is 2x, 2x plus 2x is 4x. All right, now I can see that I'm done with my variables, but I have some constants. I have a plus 3 and I have a minus 5. I can combine those because they're constants. They don't have variables attached to them. They're just numbers. 3 minus 5 will give me negative 2. And that's my final answer. I can't combine these two because this has an x and this does not have an x. So I can't do anything more. That is my simplest answer. All right, let's try this next one. Number 2, it says find the perimeter of the figure. All right, so perimeter, once again, it's like we're walking around the outside of the shape, adding up all the sides and see how long the distance is all the way around that shape. It's like if this was my backyard and I was trying to fence in my backyard, how much fence would I need to buy to fence in my backyard? All right, so I have to add up all of my sides. So let's do that. So I see on top there, I have a 6x plus 2. So 6x plus 2. And my next side is 2y minus 2. And then my next side is 2x. Oops, sorry, it says positive 2, so I'm going to put a plus 2. 2x minus 4. And then my next side is a positive 4, so I'm going to put plus 4. And then it says plus y. All right, now just like before, I want to combine my like terms. And I know when I combine like terms, I want it to be in standard form, which means my variable terms go first and they go in alphabetical order. So I'm going to combine my x's first. So let's see if I have any x's. I have a 6x, I have a plus 2x. No other x's, so that's it. 6x plus 2x will give me 8x. All right, so I see some y's in here. I know that would go before my other numbers, so I'm gonna put my y's. I have a plus 2y, and I have a plus y. And 2y plus one more y would give me 3y. So and it's a positive 3, so I put a plus, so it'd be plus 3y. And now I can do my constants. If I look at my constants, those are just numbers. I have a plus 2, I have a minus 2, I have a minus 4, and I have a plus 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So that would really be plus 0. But since adding 0 to something does not change it, I do not have to write that in my answer. So my most simple answer, my simplified answer would be 8x plus 3y, and that is my final answer. All right, for number 3, it says find the perimeter of the rectangle. So we gave you the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. It's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So let's write that down there. All right, and now I have to identify what's my length and what's my width. So my length I'm going to say is 4x plus 8. My width I'm going to say is 2x plus 3. It doesn't matter which one you label length and which one you label width. You'll still get the same answer. All right, so I'm going to plug that into my formula. I have 2 times 4x plus 8 because that was my length, I said. And then I'm going to add it to 2 times 2x plus 3 because that was my width. So from here, I have parentheses, right? So to get rid of my parentheses, I have to use distributive property to get rid of them. So I'm going to take that 2 and distribute it to both things on the inside of those parentheses. 2 times 4x would give me 8x. 2 times 8 will give me 16. And now I have another group of parentheses here, so I have to use distributive property to get rid of them. So I'm going to take that 2 and give it to both things on the inside. 2 times 2 would give me 4, and it's a positive 4, so I'm going to put a plus, so plus 4x. And 2 times 3 gives me 6, so plus 6. Now from here, I did my distributive property, now I can combine my like terms. So what are my like terms? Well, I see I have an 8x. Can I combine that with anything else? Yes, I can. I can combine it with this 4x. And 8x plus 4x will give me 12x. So now I have constants here, right? So now I have constants. I can combine this 16 and I can combine this plus 6. 16 plus 6 gives me 22. And it's positive, so I put a plus, so it'll be plus 22. And now I have my answer. My answer is 12x plus 22. All right, number 4, it says a triangle has side lengths of 8x plus 2, 11x minus 3y, and 10 minus 4y. All right, so I know triangles are 3 sides, and in A here it says write an expression for the perimeter of this triangle. So I know perimeter, just like what we did before, I'm going to add up all my sides so I can combine my like terms. So I'm going to write my x's first. 8x and 11x are like terms, and if I combine those, I get 19x. Then I can see my y's. I see I have a negative 3y and a minus 4y. Negative 3 minus 4 would give me negative 7y. And then I have my constants. I have a plus 2 and I have a 10. If I do 2 plus 10, that would give me 12. And there's my expression, 19x minus 7y plus 12. B, it says, find the perimeter of the triangle when x equals 8 and y equals 4. So now I can plug those numbers in using substitution, and I'm going to plug them in with parentheses. So I'm going to have 19 times 8, and then minus 7 times 4, because 8 is x and 4 is y, and then I still have that plus 12. Order of operations tells me I need to multiply before I can add or subtract. So 19 times 8 will give me 152, and I still have that minus sign, so I'm going to bring that down. And 7 times 4 will give me 28, and I still have that plus 12. And if I do 152 minus 28 plus 12, that will give me my perimeter, which is 136 centimeters. That is how we found the perimeter of that triangle. Remember, perimeter, you're adding up all the sides all the way around the shape. All right, number 5, it says May wants to install a sprinkler system around the edge of her rectangular lawn. The lawn is 3x plus 3 meters long and 8x minus 6 meters wide. What length of sprinkler tubing will she need to surround the lawn? Okay, so this told us it's a rectangle, and we're going around the lawn, so that means perimeter. So that means I have to use the formula that we gave you, and that is 2L plus 2W, and that equals the perimeter of a rectangle. So I have 2, I got to figure out what my length is. Well, it told me it was 3x plus 3 meters long. So I'm going to plug that in for my L, and it told me that 8x minus 6 meters wide. So I'm going to plug that in for my W. So let's plug those in. So for L, I'm going to plug in 3x plus 3, and for my W, I'm going to plug in 8x minus 6. All right, so I plugged them in. Now I see I have parentheses, so I have to get rid of those by using the distributive property. I'm going to take that 2 and multiply it to everything on the inside. 2 times 3x will give me 6x. 2 times 3 will give me 6. That's positive, so I put a plus. Now I have to do my next one. 2 times 8x will give me a positive 16x. And 2 times negative 6 will give me a negative 12. So now I can combine my like terms. I'm going to put my variable terms first. So I'm going to look for my x's. I see I have a 6x and a positive 16x. 6 plus 16 will give me 22, and the x stays with it. I also see I have some constants. I have a plus 6 and a minus 12. Well, if I combine plus 6 and minus 12, that's going to give me a negative 6. So my final answer is 22x minus 6. All right, number 6, it says the base of the triangle is 3 times the height. Write an equation for the area of the triangle that represents this scenario. All right, so I know I'm dealing with a triangle, right? The height of a triangle is how tall it is, going straight from the bottom all the way up to the point of the top. That is our height. So we don't know our height, but we can just say that it's x, because if it's an unknown number, we can use a variable. All right, and it says the base of the triangle is 3 times the height. So the base is the bottom of the triangle, and if it's 3 times the height and the height is x, so that means that the base would be 3 times that, which would be 3x. Okay, so we're dealing with area of a triangle here, and the formula for area of a triangle, we gave it to you earlier. It's a equals 1/2 base times height. Okay, so now I can plug in my things that I know is my base and my height. So a equals 1/2 times my base. My base was 3x, and my height was x. And I always want to substitute it in with parentheses. So that means I can do 1/2 times 3. So half of 3, it would be 3 over 2. We want to keep that as a fraction. And it still has that x, so I'm going to keep the x with it. And I still have that times x. So now I have 3/2 x times x. Well, x times x gives us x squared. So my final equation would be a equals 3.5 x squared. All right, number 7, it says Joe, who's the youngest member of a wrestling team at Northwood High School, is 5 years less than 1/2 the age of the coach. If the coach is n years old, write an expression to describe Joe's age. All right, so let's see here. It says 5 years less than. Ooh, from, than, to, switcheroo. So less means subtract. The than means I switch it. So I know that -5 is going to go at the end. And then it says 1/2 the age of the coach. Well, we don't know the age of the coach. It just says the coach's age is n. But we know we can take a half of that, so it would just be 1/2 n. And that is my final answer. That's my expression, 1/2 n minus 5. So remember, from, then, to, switcheroo, so that 5 is going to get moved to the end, and less means subtract. And when you take a half of something, you're timesing it by 1/2, or you could write dividing by 2. Either way. All right, let's do the very last problem, number 8. All right, number 8, it says 100 people go on a trip. Write an equation to determine the number of vehicles you need if each vehicle can accommodate 4 people. All right, so each car can fit 4 people. We have 100 people going. We got to figure out how many cars we need. So I'm going to put V for vehicles equals, we have 100 people going, and each car can only fit 4, so that means I got to split them up equally into the cars with 4 people at a time, right? So splitting up equally is dividing, so I'm going to divide that by 4. So it'd be V equals 100 divided by 4, which you can probably do in your head, is 25 vehicles is how many we would need. All right, that is practical problems with algebraic expressions. If you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask a teacher. Catch you next time.